Every year, the Coalition presents the Dayton Region Advocate Award to a leader who has been an effective, strong advocate for the region. We began this award in 2008 and present it every year at our fly-in in Washington, D.C. to someone committed to the Dayton region. The first honoree was Congressman Dave Hobson, a dear friend and a mentor to many of you here today, and a passionate advocate for the Dayton region. The award has carried his name ever since. As you just heard in the video, Congressman Hobson's impact on the Dayton region will carry on for generations. I'm joined today by several people who knew Congressman Hobson and share our commitment to honoring his legacy. Jobs Ohio President and CEO J.P. Nassif, who established the award with Congressman Hobson, Barbara Mills, his business partner and friend, and John Landis, Executive Director of the Turner Foundation in Springfield, who worked closely with Congressman Hobson on projects in Clark County and Springfield. Congressman Hobson was elected in 1991 to take the seat vacated by Ohio's new Lieutenant Governor, Mike DeWine. Their partnership grew when DeWine returned to D.C. in 1995 as a U.S. Senator and continued throughout their careers. I can think of no better person to honor this year than Congressman Hobson's longtime friend and ally, Governor Mike DeWine and First Lady Fran DeWine. It's my honor now to introduce the President and CEO of Jobs Ohio, J.P. Nassif.
Thanks, Jeff. Starting as Greene County prosecutor in 1977, the DeWines have dedicated nearly 50 years serving the people of the Dayton region and Ohio. One of my favorite stories about the DeWines happened just a few years ago. We were in the process of convincing Joby Aviation to establish their production facility in Ohio. We'd had a lot of discussions about how Ohio was a great fit for their business, but we wanted to show them why their people would love Ohio. And the DeWines stepped up. They were the perfect closers. They told the story of how they met as children in Yellow Springs and then took Joby's leadership on a tour of the region. Seeing Ohio through their eyes revealed a supportive and collaborative community where businesses thrive and their people can enjoy their own version of the American dream. I can tell you firsthand that versions of this story happen regularly, with the DeWines personally meeting and engaging with companies to show them Ohio's heart and soul. Governor DeWine has for decades championed Ohio's military community. Going back to the 2005 BRAC, then Senator DeWine worked with Congressman Hobson to protect Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and set the stage for mission expansion. And since then, Wright-Pat has added thousands of jobs in the past 20 years, including bringing private investment into the region as defense contractors supporting the base grew their operations alongside the new and expanded missions. He has worked with the Ohio legislature to make Ohio the friendliest state for military families. And as a person that came here with a military family, again, I can tell you firsthand how important that is. He's made it easier for military spouses to find work, for their children to enroll in schools, and to ensure they can access the benefits they've earned, whether they're active duty or veterans. I'd now like to introduce John Landis, the Executive Director of the Turner Foundation in Springfield. Thanks.
At the DDC, we see their work in economic development up close, but their work on behalf of children and families is what makes Ohio a place people want to call home. Mrs. DeWine's focus on childhood literacy has brought books into the homes of thousands of Ohio children through Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. She brought the program to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in 2023, making sure the children of military personnel can share the joy of receiving new books. With the kindness and ease of mom, grandma, and great-grandma, she helps children understand how important it is to nourish their bodies with good food. She teaches them where that food comes from and how so many things on their plate come from Ohio. Her yearly pizza-making session at the Ohio State Fair, using vegetables grown in Governor's residence garden, helps build healthy habits. I'd like to introduce Barbara Mills.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone. I think I'm one of the few people who have had the opportunity of working for both Mike DeWine, Fran DeWine, and Dave Hobson, and what a great privilege for me. They taught me and so many others about what true public service looks like. And I think Dave Hobson would be absolutely thrilled to know that his good friends, Mike and Fran DeWine, are the recipients of this year's recognition. The governor will often say, elect one, get one free. And it's so true. This force, these two people are a force to be reckoned with. Mike and Fran have put babies, moms, families first in everything that they've done for an entire lifetime of service. And the Miami Valley and the greater Dayton region is so much better for it. So on behalf of all of us who are standing here and all of us who are not here but have worked for both Mike DeWine and Dave Hobson, please accept our heartiest congratulations. And I think John's coming back now for the moment we've been waiting for.
Through it all, they have stood together. They understand that when you speak with one voice, people listen. Their work shows that the power of what we can do when we work together. It's my honor to present the 2025 Congressman Dave Hobson Dayton Regional Advocate Award to Governor Mike and First Lady Fran DeWine.
Picture here, guys. Oh, wow. Thank you all very much. Well, John and Barbara, Jeff, JP, thank you so very, very much. Fran and I are very, very honored, and we just so appreciate this. It means so much coming from the Dayton Development Coalition. I've worked with the Dayton Development Coalition for so many years, and I've watched what they do. And I think you guys know this, but I talk about you all when I travel around the state of Ohio. And I tell different communities, look at how Dayton has done it. They've studied the problems, they've studied the challenges, they've looked for the opportunities, and they've come up with a plan. We heard a few minutes ago about everything that Dave did in regard to the BRAC. That was certainly done very, very closely with the Dayton Development Coalition. So I thank you all very, very much, and I'm very, very grateful. This award is particularly special because it's named after our friend, Dave Hobson. Lynn, thank you very, very much for being here. Wrong way. There you go. Thank you.
Of course.
We appreciate it very, very much. Your parents, friends of ours for so many, many years, and we were just fortunate to have them as dear friends. Dave always talked about the fact, he would always tell people when he was talking about me, that I got one job and then I left and he followed it, and then I got another job and he followed it. And that's true. Both of us actually were looking at running for the state senate, and I ended up running. He was gracious enough not to run. And that friendship started really during that period of time. Dave talks about the fact that he followed me, but the truth is he was in each job a lot longer than I was. And not only was he in each job a lot longer than I was, he accomplished, frankly, a whole lot more than I did. He was the guy that in the state senate they looked to if they had a tough job. They looked to Dave Hobson because Dave Hobson would get the job done. One of the last things he did in the state senate was in the area of mental health. Very, very tough. It's the same way in the United States Senate. The same thing in the U.S. House of Representatives, when Dave went there. He just knew what he was doing and started working One of the great things I think that he did, I know he talked to me a lot, particularly when he was one of the cardinals on the Appropriations Committee. He really focused a lot on our servicemen's families, men and women's families overseas, and what kind of housing they had. And that's just one example of the many things that Dave took on. I watched Dave Hobson go from someone focused very naturally on Springfield and Clark County to someone then focused more on his district, or added that, then to Dayton, and then the Miami Valley, then the whole state of Ohio, and then, of course, later to the whole country, into the whole world. And I think he grew in each time that he expanded those things that he felt he was responsible for. And that's how Dave approached things. He felt like he was responsible. Whatever it was, he was responsible for it, and he had to come up with the answers. Speaking of coming up with the answers, I really have missed, since Dave passed away, I've really missed the phone calls. I've also missed the breakfasts that we used to have, whether it was at Dunkin' Donuts, or, yeah, he and I, were not exactly big spenders, either one of us. So, but either at Dunkin', or if we really wanted to splurge, we went to Bob Evans. But I would come home, and Fran can tell you this, I would come home with a legal pad full of ideas. And I remember one time I was in a tough campaign, and I got up to 47 ideas, literally. And it went down page after page. I got home, I said, how in the hell am I going to do, how am I going to run all these down? But he had a lot of great ideas, and it was very, very helpful, and he always wanted to be there. And I just miss him now, miss his advice, and miss his friendship. So to all of you, thank you. I'm honored that you would give me this. I'm particularly honored that it's named after our friend, Dave Hobson. Fran. Now I get to hold it. Huh? I get to hold it.
Thank you so much. I miss Carolyn here today. She's always been my friend, but it's so good to have you here, Lynn. Thank you. Dave was a great leader and a great problem solver. I think that was really what he was. But he didn't hesitate to pick up the phone and give Mike a little advice, anytime, day or night. But Mike really appreciated that and took his advice and listened and learned. I also want to thank the DDC for this lovely honor. Helping kids learn is my passion, and I've loved traveling the state to encourage all Ohio families to sign up for the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library of Ohio. The free book program for all kids from birth to age 5 now has more than 410,000 children signed up each month. Most of the Dayton area counties continue to have higher than state average enrollment. That's great. Thank you again for this special recognition.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.